All right, what's going on? Let's go over a quick review of what happened today. And hold on, my computer just turned off. All right, so let's look at the first AM macro and see what I saw. Okay, so coming into the day, obviously everything was pointing pretty bullish to me. I mean, we had a nice reaction here, both on NQ and ES, pushing higher. 4 hour looked very bullish. I was thinking we could see a bit of a retracement, possibly into this 4 hour, or to a discount, but it isn't guaranteed. So that's just something I had in the back of my mind as a possibility of that happening. So that'll kind of go into why I was looking for shorts for the morning. So moving down to the 1 hour, as we can see, the 1 hour was looking pretty choppy actually in the morning. Actually, we probably see it better in the 15 minute. We had a lot of just back and forth price action. Price was trapped between a 15 minute bearish imbalance and a 1 hour bullish imbalance. So price was kind of just chopping in and out. Um, Session wise, I noticed that Asia consolidated. Uh, London came up. There was a high time frame high up here that London did take out. If I am correct, let me just make sure before I say that. Oh God. Yeah. So there was a high that got taken out during London session, so that's why it kind of reversed. I was looking into Asia lows as a possible target with that being in mind, with the original 4 hour bias I had. That price would kind of draw lower and then turn around and go higher. Overall was bullish though, so this was the first setup that I kind of saw. We had just taken out this buy side liquidity that I marked out on ES. We did it on well, I had it marked out incorrectly. It was this. No, it was okay. It was this high, so it did get taken out, but it got swept on ES as well. So I was starting to feel bearish, especially after we had the strong displacement lower with a market structure shift. So my execution on this trade was horrendous. I mean, it should have. This trade should have most likely been a break-even trade for me, but let me see. I'll go down to M&Q, and that's where I did execute. And originally, I had my limit set up here, and then while I was in the trade, I started thinking that maybe I should have had it down here because I didn't notice that this was actually a gap, and it was. And I could still frame a 25-point stop loss and a 2-to-1 here. So that should have honestly been my entry. So I was resizing my trade, moving my limit orders down. And while that happened, we had this huge wick up. Um, and I kind of just panicked and I closed the position because I wasn't paying attention, to be honest. And it caught me off guard. So that was a good lesson to kind of just do my overview a little more thoroughly and pay a lot more attention to detail, because if I hadn't missed that, uh, this would have most likely still been a break-even trade. But regardless, my analysis was great, which is good. Still working on my executions, my timing, and everything. Uh, Moving on into the second AM macro. So originally, I was looking into taking a trade based solely off of based solely off of this displacement here. Um, but there was no real sweep of liquidity, so I was a little bit hesitant on that. As seen here, we did sweep liquidity on both, so it was a lot. It was a higher confluence of a trade. There was nothing here to kind of go off of. So when we came into here, I was 50-50. I was like, I don't know. I decided not to, just because it would have not been like an A plus trade, most likely at best like a B, just a B trade. So Moving in, and then this was actually an A plus setup. I didn't take it just because actually it wasn't an A plus. There was only one thing that was keeping it from being an A plus, which is this 15-minute gap on ES. I saw multiple rejections from it before, so it kind of I was a little bit skeptical of it. So at least for the long side, especially due to all the chop that we had seen earlier, especially here. So I didn't really want to mess with it too much. But regardless, this trade would have played out nicely. Stop placement was one thing that I was kind of iffy about, but I could still frame a decent trade here to the London high with a 25-point stop. As I just wanted to make sure I was covering this gap and this gap here. Um, but those were my two trades to improve upon my trading. I would say the biggest takeaway was to be a little more thorough, kind of just keep my eyes on the charts, because I realized if I'm just fiddling around a little too much with the charts, I'll lose my, I wouldn't say bias, but lose my kind of flow with the market, which is really satisfying when you kind of get into that flow state, but you can lose it just as quick. So that's something to look forward to. Overall, pretty nice trading day. I mean, we had Fed Powell, he was testifying at 10, so I was a little bit worried about how price would react to that, but I didn't think there would be much of a reaction. There was this big candle over here at 10:08, which is nice, but it was in the direction that I wanted to see price. So, anyways, this was a good trade. Now I'll do another one tomorrow.